Hello, this is Paul. You have already been through the previous part where we have learned up to this point how to delete a file and remove it from your computer permanently. And before removing it from your computer permanently, you're also able to recall it. We have covered this before. Now take thought that this will only work on your computer itself with the drives that you have installed as hardware on your system unit. It will not work on external hard drives, it will not work on jump drives or memory sticks, and it will not work on any CDs. When you remove files from these other items, they will be deleted in a single step and be gone forever. So be aware of that. There are times when you want to adjust the size of what the space is reserved for the recycle bin. Yes, there is definite space reserved for this operation. It's not like the other files that takes up random access to your hard drive, but is a specific area and location for the recycle bin to operate. And this will also affect why some files will be usable and others are not. Now in this experience, you're going to learn how to adjust the size of that recycle bin and be able to either save space or use extra space to save more or less files. Basically, it's a very easy equation to be able to realize how much space is being reserved for the recycle bin. The recycle bin will take about 10% of the hard drive for this function. In other words, if you have a 32-bit gigabyte hard drive, there's about 320 megabytes reserved for the recycle bin. This will be available to store as many files as will be kept there. Once it is full, it will ask you to delete the files permanently, or you can cancel out of the operation. Now make changes on this operation. You can expand and decrease the size of this section of the drive. To have access to this, you will go back to the desktop and choose the recycle bin, single click, and right click on there to be able to open the menu that will pop up and be able to make another selection with the left button mouse and go into the menu to be able to select properties. Take notice that when you do this, menu will come up that is very simple. It will only allow you to do one item, and that is to be able to make adjustments for the size of what is being stored. Now take notice that this is also a check box that we have to be able to choose to make a single step to delete the files immediately instead of making use of the recycle bin. Now if you do this, be careful, because once you do that, one step and the files that you elected to send to the recycle bin will be gone forever. The recycle bin will remain empty. So over here is where we have also a slide bar to be able to make it increase or decrease the size of the hard drive that is going to be set aside. Now take notice that as we are able to use the left button and slide that marker from left to right, the 10% on there that we see associated with it will give you the numerical percentage value for how much space you're using up on your drive. Now also we will take notice of how we will get the full meaning of what these adjustments are by selecting the local disk C if that is all that you have on your computer. If you put in a secondary drive, it'll be D and will show up on that tab as well. After selecting the tab for local disk C, you'll be able to see the numerical value of what the size of the drive is and how much is set aside for your recycle bin. Now, if this is not appropriate for what you're looking for, you can always go back to the previous display and move that slide over to make the necessary adjustments. All that is left to remember is that you want to remember to press the apply button on the bottom of the window, and if you are finished, you'll be able to close it. And there are two ways to do it, and that is to close it by using the button on the bottom of the window, or going to the red X on the upper right. Now, this is the end of part 4, and be sure to take time to go over this and understand what you're doing if you should go in and experiment a bit. And if you want to have some space that is needed on your disk to do other work, you can always make the necessary adjustments. So, after you get done with this, be sure to move on to part 4 and get some more information about your recycle bin.